So sometimes my heart goes a little haywire. Not like romantically. I mean,
Ba-ting when it should have
like physically. And so I think it was like back when I was in my early 20s, I started getting like arrhythmias and things like that. And so I started getting I had my first couple like bouts of like atrial fib, and then I had it's called PVCs, right? They're premature ventricular contractions. Basically, it's like it's a beat that starts too soon, and before your heart can fill up with blood, it kind of pinches your heart, right?
Oh, okay.
Ugh.
Some people can feel them, some people can't. But anyways, I've dealt with these for I don't know, probably 7 years. They came out of nowhere. Probably had to do with maybe something bodybuilding related, or it could have been something, I don't know, genetically. But
Yeah.
anyways, so I've had them for a long time, and I've never really had a huge episode. Basically, my normalness for those is I get maybe 1 to 5 a day that I'll feel, right?
Yeah.
Pretty normal. I can live with that.
For you, that's normal.
And for me, that's normal. I could, I might get 1 a day, I might get 0 a day. I don't know, but I basically, it was a very small amount of them. Starting this last week, it was last Tuesday, man. I started getting them a little bit more frequently, and by more frequently, I was getting them probably once a minute, right?
Yeah.
And what it feels like is basically kind of a sinking feeling in your chest, and you feel kind of scared for a second there because it throws you off. It's like a reset on your system. Yeah. And it's kind of like if somebody were to jump out of a bush and scare you, and or kind of like you lose your breath, right? It's kind of like a flutter of that feel, but then you also kind of feel it just kind of knocks you. It knocks you out because basically it resets you, and then your blood flow technically kind of halts for a brief minute. Not really, but it's what it feels like. And so when you start having them every minute, it starts really kind of start getting you tired, and you start kind of feeling a little woozy, a little out of it. And so I started last Tuesday, I started getting them. And then Wednesday I had them, and then Thursday I had them really bad. It was about maybe a couple times a minute, and it was happening really frequently, and that's why I stayed home. I wasn't part of the Thursday Q&A, right, because I was feeling so weak. And I was getting really kind of not lightheaded, but really dizzy. If I lay down or sit down, it got worse. Typically what I've noticed is that if I eat a big meal, or if I eat a lot, or if I'm really bloated feeling, I'll get them more often. But in this case, I don't know why they're happening. They're just something's off in my body. I don't know what it is yet.
So you've obviously gotten checked for this stuff.
Yeah.
Before, right?
So Thursday I was sitting on the couch, and I actually talked to Dane's mom, who used to work in the cardio.
She was an echocardiologist.
She was an echocardiologist. So this is what she did, right? And so I talked to her, and I kind of explained. She said, "Yeah, you should probably go get an ECG or an EKG done just in case." But I had it on my iWatch, right? Yeah. Which I had a whole chart of them appearing on my watch.
When it happened.
And they look different on the graph. Basically, if the graph is big beat, small beat, big beat, small beat, or something like that, right? This is basically, it'll go half a beat and then a giant dip. And then it goes back up.
Yeah.
And
so your problem, rather than a racing heart, you're having it drop down to dangerous levels.
And so, and then I would check my heart rate, and I was at 47 beats per minute.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's pretty low.
That's trained athlete territory.
That's pretty low. And if I was in really good shape, maybe that would be okay. But I'm not in that good a shape. I probably should go to the doctor. So I went to the hospital, and just did a urgent care situation. They checked me out. Of course, you go there, everything's fine. They're like, wow, 66 beats per minute resting. Your blood pressure's good. Everything else looks good. Cool, you're on your way. I'm like,
that'll be $500.
Yeah, and I was like, wait, I was just dying a minute ago. And they're like, no, you're good, man. So whatever.
What about when
they did do an EKG to make sure
they
it's not a heart attack?
And yeah, there's no heart. I mean, they couldn't tell if a heart attack or anything. They said everything sounded good and everything. So, I mean, that's fine. But it definitely just throws you off. And I don't know. Again, this has been going on for a week now. And I've been just trying to figure it out. And I dropped all my caffeine, so I haven't had any caffeine. I've been if I'm really out of it, I'll have I had this morning, I had a half a cup of coffee just because I need to be awake for these kind of things. Yeah. Because I've been so drained and so down that I don't really have any I guess I don't want to say will.
Out of anybody in this office, you have the biggest energy swings based on whether you ate or drank recently.
Yeah, I know.
You
so
by far.
Anyway, so I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm hoping it's something. Could it be because of the weight loss? Lost 10 pounds. There could be something physically changing in my body. No idea. There could also be something maybe add it could be a potassium deficiency, it could be a sodium deficiency. I've done some more research on this stuff than I think half the doctors in Boise have done.
Do you take multivitamins at least?
Yeah, So I've covered all the general basics.
Yeah.
Like right now, what I'm doing is I'm taking ginger root to basically calm down the vagus nerve, which would stimulate a PVC, and so it's kind of helping, kind of not. I'll figure it out, but
Right.
I'm not dying. I'm just a little out of it compared to normal. So.
That's it, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the
We'll see
Brad
you
Company
Thursday.
podcast channel. We'll see you Thursday for the Q&A with Adam Patali. Don't forget that, of Adam's polishes. That should be interesting. All right, guys. We'll catch you later. Have a good week.
See ya.